Now, this is Clark Kemp for the Predatory Lending Network talking to you. Now, due to the recent events in Colorado with the Batman shooting, we're talking to some of the real-life superheroes about that and asking them the question, do you think with the rise of superhero movies, are we seeing the emergence of real-life superheroes such as yourself and real-life supervillains like we saw in Colorado? Are we starting to see that in real life?
Yes, I believe we are. And to let you know who I am, I'm Danger Man, the urban superhero. And I believe we are because I can see even on the internet and on Facebook, I see people, going creating characters and even villains. People want to be villains for some reason. I don't know. I always want to be a good guy. I don't know why people want to be villains, but yeah, I do see a surge of that.
Now, you're part of the real-life superhero movement, and I know you've done several charity events and stuff like that. What can you tell the folks who are watching about the real-life superheroes?
Well, the real-life superheroes, from what I know, are they're individuals who want to, who want to help, and some of them, are in the street, going down the street at night, trying to prevent crime, trying to stop drug dealing, and that kind of thing. And they're called vigilantes, all right. And some of them, try to help homeless people and help the youth. And and then in some cities, there's one group in Detroit called the Detroit 300, which actually goes out looking for suspects, okay, to help the police out, because the police are just, underpaid and they've laid off a lot of police officers, so they go out and try to round up some of the bad guys and actually bring them in. So that's what I consider more of a vigilante as opposed to people going out trying to prevent crime. So.
Now, you mentioned you're from Colorado. What do you think of this current incident that we had recently in Colorado, leaving, 59 wounded and somewhere around 13 or 14 dead so far? What do you think? Because it's your hometown. What do you have to say about that?
Okay, I think the latest figure is it was 12 killed and 51 injured, and at this movie theater. And I think what we're seeing here, I think because of the violence that was in the movie and these people trying to interact. I mean, this was a really smart kid. He didn't really have to do this. But if you look at the weaponry that he had and all that, I mean, I think he was really trying to, he was bored. Okay, he had money, he was brilliant, but he was bored. He wanted to, take out some folks to kind of, do something else and get his 15 minutes. Okay. But my big concern is looking at the weaponry is that the NRA. That's my big concern, okay? Because I am an opponent of the NRA because we have so many guns out there, and I believe that the blood is on the hands of the NRA.
Now, I interview people at a couple comic conventions and stuff like that about the difference between good and evil. And we're here at a church event, and I see one of the little kids running around with something and pretending to have a chainsaw and chopping off people's heads and stuff at a church event. What can we say about teaching people the difference between good and evil, right and wrong? Because even at a church event, we have kids fascinated about killing people.
Well, I haven't seen the kid, and I don't know if he's even fascinated by it. Maybe just something he's swinging around.
Yeah, he's just fooling around or something. But how can we teach the difference, them fantasizing it? Because I go to conventions where people dress up as evil characters and good characters, and it seems like the ones dressed up as evil always have so much more to say and can defend their position a lot better than the people on the forces of good.
Well, I believe these folks that are. I mean, they carry weapons. I know not a lot of the theaters are saying now they don't want people coming in with masks and weapons. Okay, I mean, you shouldn't be carrying a weapon around in the first place. Okay, but I think it's just kind of a part of our society now where people get this whole they get off on being evil. Okay, because they feel that being good isn't cool. All right, but being good is cool. And being a good guy is good stuff, all right. But people just get off on being evil because they figure they can get the cameras on them, they can get their 15 minutes of fame, and they figure they can take it to the next level.
Now, you being from Colorado, some people have suggested to me that the movie theaters and actually do some sort of fundraiser for the victims. What do you think about actually having the theaters and people have some sort of fundraiser for the victims?
Well, I'm not saying that they shouldn't. I'm saying that I think that it doesn't really have to do with the theaters having a fundraiser. I think, individuals or a group, if they want to have a fundraiser, I think they're entitled to. But as far as the theaters, it's not really the theaters, unless they really want to do it. But like I said, I can see individuals or individual groups doing it.
So in closing, is there any last minute things you'd like to say to the viewers?
Yeah, I'd like to say that back on this NRA thing, when we look at, that now what happens is, because, and I'm not racist or anything, but when you look at this shooting, and you have a bunch of good white folks, got shot up, okay, and my prayers go to them and their families. But every day in Chicago, black children are killed every day, and now now they're jumping up and down about gun control again, okay, but gun control should be or this gun problem in this country should be something that we should be working with every day, not once every time we have a big mass killing. I mean, there's mass killings in Chicago and Detroit, St. Louis and New Orleans, all those major cities every day. Guns are a problem in our community, and the NRA, the National Rifle Association, is, to me, is the big cause behind it, because they're sticking money in the hands of these politicians and congressmen and senators, and because we know that they're the most powerful advocacy group in the country. So that's what we need to work on, is abolish the NRA and and pull them down a notch.
So in closing, this is Clark Kent from the Predatory Lending Network talking to you.